Soften your shoulders. Your job now, as you continue to breathe, is to just notice inside sensation. What does the inside of your body feel like? What are you feeling and where are you feeling it? So one more breath through the nose, inhaling slow and patient and curious. And exhaling, sighing it all out. Now for a moment, either close your eyes or just look down at the floor to keep your eyes focused. When we move our eyes around, our mind kind of moves around, so we want to steady our eyes. And in this part of the practice, we want to move the body, but still the mind. And at the end of the practice, we'll do the reverse. We'll let our mind move through the body while we still the body. Now see if you can count to 5. We're going to take 5 breaths. So counting yourself on an inhale, 1, and then exhale, 1. Do that for 4 more breaths, counting to yourself, and just give yourself a chance to stretch out that breath a little bit. Let it lengthen if possible. Find what is the comfortable long inhale for you, followed by the comfortable long exhale. You never want to compromise your breath, so always just finding what's most comfortable to you. Inhaling, letting the ribs flare out to the sides and expanding the chest. And exhaling, maybe gently drawing the navel back towards the spine, encouraging a fuller exhale. Counting and working just to focus the mind. Detaching from your thoughts, detaching from the events of the day, and with each breath, just coming more and more inward until you feel as though you are breathing directly into you. Sometimes they say that the ills of our society are based on homesickness, in which we are not home. So with your next inhale, say welcome, and welcome yourself into your heart, into your inner essence, into yourself. And for the next 45 minutes, make that commitment to stay connected to you, your breath, and your sensations in your body. That simple and yet that challenging. Can you be with just you, your breath, and your body's sensations? All right. Now gently open your eyes if they were closed, and come a little forward on your chair so you have room to move. And so when I come forward, then I can reach the floor as well. Now place your hands on your thighs, and again, soften your shoulders. Notice if they're hunched up, let them go. On an inhale, just press down on your hands enough that it helps you lift your spine up and get tall. As you exhale, bring your chin to your collarbone, and then continuing to breathe as you need to. The next time you exhale, round your shoulders a little, and then begin to round through the mid-back. Maybe slide your hands down your legs if that's comfortable. And just roll down as far as is comfortable for you at this time, letting your back relax, letting your head and neck go. And then when you inhale, we'll begin to roll up. Rolling up from the low back to the mid back to the upper back. Let your head be the last thing that comes up, and then up and vertical. Take your feet a little wider. Let's try that again. So on the inhale, press on the thighs and lift up, firm the belly, and then use your exhale to begin with the head, then soften the shoulders forward, then the chest, mid-back, lengthen through the low back. Maybe your chest lays on your thighs as you slide your head down. Release your head and neck completely. Even shake your head no a little bit, and then yes. So little yeses and little no's, just to completely release the head and neck. Take a big inhale here and inflate the back body. And then exhale through that open mouth and let your body relax completely. And then sliding your hands up your legs or on your lap, wherever your hands are. On an inhale, starting at the back, the mid-back, rolling up maybe one vertebra at a time or at least one section of the back at a time. And then your head is the last thing to come up nice and tall. All right. Your hands are on your thighs. Your legs are a little further than hip distance. Now keep your spine long and keep your neck and head as an extension of your spine. Drop your shoulders a little. Take an inhale here. Again, press down on your hands. Just get used to that to lengthen through the spine. As you exhale with a long spine, bring your right shoulder over towards the right knee. And then nice and slow, glide through the center. Your elbows are bent. Bring your left shoulder over towards your left knee, and then you can use your hands to push yourself gently up and vertical again. And let's try that 2 more times. Finding the smooth flowing motion of your torso in relation to your hips. Keeping the spine long and just beginning to ease through this essential movement. And then when you come up this time, pause. And we'll reverse it. So exhaling, the left shoulder will come over towards the left knee. You'll glide across the center as you bend deeply, and then you'll come up on the right, and then glide across 2 more times. Try that. So your circles can be large or small. You can decide what pace you need them to be. If any place feels stiff or sticky, just kind of pause in there or just do a little back and forth until you can ease up on it, and then come back up to center. Now we'll repeat this, but we're going to add the head this time. So we'll begin to use a little bit more of the spine. So pressing down on the inhale, now take your chin to the ceiling. Look up when you're in this vertical position. As you exhale and you lean to the right, let your head lean to the right as well. And then when you come forward, look down. Take your chin towards your collarbone. And as you come up on the left side, let your left ear sort of drop towards the left shoulder. And then come up and look up. So now invite your head and neck to move along with your spine as you make your circles. We'll do 1 more in this clockwise direction. And then come back to center. And you probably know what's coming next. We're going to change the direction, but with adding the head and neck again. So we'll inhale and look up, and then exhale and just lean over to the left, and then direct the left shoulder towards the left knee. Drop the head as you come through the center, and then the right ear towards the right shoulder, and then bring your head up. So we're getting head and neck circles along with torso circles. So 2 more times, finding what feels right for you at this time. And then coming back to center. All right, so we started to move the head and neck a little bit and a little bit with the shoulders. So now let's try this. Bring your hands behind your head and interlace your fingers. If that's not comfortable, you can have your head on your shoulders or just touch the side of your head, or no arms at all. But if it's comfortable, let's try it. So on an inhale, now we'll look up like we did before, but take your elbows wide and notice what your low back feels like. You might notice that your lumbar curve, your low back feels very deep and your navel is coming forward. Now let's take it to the left. So take your right elbow up towards the ceiling. So we're doing a little side bend here. And you'll notice that the left side of your waist has to work as well as the right. And now we'll come forward and drop your elbows. So gently, you're not tugging on your head at all. It's just the passive weight of your arms. And then we'll glide over to the left. So the left elbow will go towards the ceiling again. Really open up that left armpit and reach with your left elbow. And then gently come up and look up at the ceiling again. Now we can make these movements small if you like. So I'm going to say find the size of your revolution or your rotation. Your elbows remain wide behind your head without tugging or putting any weight on your head. And just begin to open up and notice that you're moving through your upper back and your ribs and your armpits a little bit more. And so now come back to center and we'll take it in the other direction again. So really opening up the back of the shoulders, the front of the chest, both armpits, and even just below the chest. Sort of mid-back range. We're moving the upper back a little bit more now. Along with the head and neck, we'll just do one more circle here. And then come back to center. All right. Now we're going to do a few just things so you can feel in your body, and then we'll expand on them. So our hands are on our thighs. Our feet are firmly planted. Feel your sit bones in the chair. All right, and if you're not sure what your sit bones are, push yourself the whole way back on your chair, and now pick up your left hip and walk it forward, then your right hip, and just walk forward on the seat of the chair, and then walk back. So we're moving our hips. I'm sort of doing a little wiggle with the hips. So one hip and then the other, just getting that little movement. All right, so now come back to the more or less the edge of your chair so that your feet are firmly grounded. Inhale and get tall. And now all we're going to do, relax your hands and just lean to the right. Keep both thighs on the chair. Let your head relax. And just pause here and breathe. So on an inhale, expand your ribs. Soften your shoulders. And on the exhale, just pull the belly back in a little bit. And notice your side body has to work here, but also notice that your right thigh feels a lot heavier than your left side because you're leaning over. And then inhale, come back to center. Just take a breath here. Even though we were just leaning, you can feel the work. As you exhale, just slightly exhale to the left, just a little movement, but again, notice. So we're trying to bring our awareness down to a more subtle level. Notice there's more weight on the left hip, thigh than the right. Now just come forward and lean forward. And you'll notice that your abs have to work a little bit and you might feel your low back turn on a little. And then lean back without your hands. Maybe your shoulders will lightly touch the chair, but you're not leaning back into the chair. And you should feel your abs working now. So this is our core. We want to strengthen our core as much as we can. And we do that by taking ourselves out of balance so the core has to keep us upright. And then just come on back. So maybe there's a little bit more awareness of the core there now. All right, since we went side to side, let's take that a little bit further now. So let's lean to the right. And then take your left elbow just up to the ceiling. Maybe take it a little further. And if that feels okay, see what it's like to extend that left arm and reach for the ceiling now. Try and make a lot of space between your left ear and your left shoulder. So reaching out and diagonal, but letting the right ear come towards the right shoulder. Now turn and look down at the floor and reach a little bit more actively with the left arm. And then the next time you inhale, let that hand pull you back up and relax the arm down. And then just take one breath here and maybe notice the difference in sensation in the left shoulder to the right. Maybe not, but maybe. It's subtle, but again, we keep refining our awareness so we come down to these subtle differences. All right, let's lean to the left. Feel that weight on the left thigh. And then when you're ready, take the right elbow up and try like jab the ceiling with that elbow. Now, if this is all the shoulder wants to do today, let it go. Or if it wants to unfurl and reach for the ceiling, see if you can reach with the arm, but drop the shoulder blade. Let the left ear, like the top of your head, is very heavy and draws the left ear towards the left shoulder without effort. And you're breathing, so now flare out those ribs again, out wide on an inhale. And on an exhale, sigh it out. Then turn and look down at the floor on the left side. And then use your left arm to pull yourself back up and down. All right, now I want to do something with the neck, shoulders here. So we'll do a little bit more. So let's see how this feels. Let's start with the left arm. Inhale your left arm and look up as you lift your arm up. And remember, you can always keep the elbow bent or lower if that feels better. Now turn the palm away from you and then turn and look down over your right shoulder. And now press with your left hand like the air is heavy. Press it down and back. Keep drawing your chin towards the right shoulder. And then when you get to the bottom, bring your head forward. And inhale, just float that arm up again and look up. Exhale, look away as you turn the palm away and press it down and back as far as is comfortable. So you're beginning to really open up that shoulder and then come back to center, look center. And last time, let's float that arm up. Turn the palm away, chin to the right shoulder as the left hand pushes back and down. Like the air is heavy, you really want to push it away. Feel that stretch along the left side of the neck, and at the bottom, reach for the floor. Get an extra little lengthening here. And then bring yourself back to center and relax that arm for just a moment. Imagine there's a balloon inside your left shoulder, and take an inhale into that shoulder and inflate it. You might even feel it move and shift. All right, let's try the right arm. So on an inhale, inflate the right arm up. Inhale the right arm up, and look up at the fingertips. Then turn the right palm away and drop your chin to the left shoulder. Now push the air back and down as you keep the heart forward and the spine long. Reach for the floor at the bottom. Bring your head to center and then float that hand back up. And turn and look up. Long spine, firm belly. Turn the hand away, look away, and draw the hand down. And then back to center and float it up. And last time, push it away and look away. Long exhale if you can. Great, and then bring it back. Then just give your arms a little rest here. And now we'll do just a little bit for the shoulders, and then we'll come back to this. So let your arms by your sides. We're just going to move the shoulders, and we're going to alternate them, taking them backwards. So we'll do the first one slow, and then you can take it in the speed that's comfortable for you. So starting with your right shoulder, just bring it forward like you're shrugging it forward, like whatever. And then bring it up by the ear, like and then take it straight back, and then take it straight down. So those are the four corners, right? So we come forward, and then we glide up by the ear. We glide it back down, and then we take it down. And now you see if you can leave your arm out of it, just the shoulder. So your arm is relaxed. And now see if you can find smooth circles with that shoulder. Trying to find the biggest circle you can. Just a few more like that. Just opening up that circle. It's a round joint. This end of your humerus, your upper arm bone is round, and it sits in a little saucer. So we're taking that the whole way around. All right. Now we're going to just open up the left shoulder, and then we'll add the two together. All right. So we bring that left shoulder forward, and then we bring it up by the ear, squeeze it in for a moment, and then take it back, straight back. And then straight down like you want to reach the floor. And then try and connect those 4 points in a smooth and continuous motion. This is one of those things you can do 20 times a day while you're maybe watching TV or relaxing. Just take the shoulder and wake it up. Just do these circles. And we want to keep the shoulders as mobile as they can be. All right. So now we've got a little bit of movement in each shoulder. So now let's alternate them. So inhale the right shoulder back and down, and then the left shoulder back and down. So we're doing a little sort of Watusi here. There's a little twist in your spine. Find your rhythm, what works for you, and just taking one shoulder at a time back. We tend to round our upper back and lean forward, so going backwards with our shoulders is especially important. Okay, now let's do both shoulders at the same time. So both shoulders back, and then when you go back, you can really squeeze your shoulder blades together. Feel that, like you want to touch your elbows behind your back. And then reaching for the floor, shrugging forward. And just do that a few times. It's a different sensation. Waking up in between your shoulder blades. Keeping the spine long. Let's do it one more time. And then relax for a moment. And maybe it's a little bit of warmth between your shoulder blades in the upper back. See if you can feel that. You can just sort of wag your shoulders a little bit. And then let's try it forward. All right, so first we'll alternate and then we'll do both together. So again, starting with the right, take your shoulder forward and back. And then the left. So it's like almost like we're running in slow motion, right? One arm and then the other. Let your upper back move, let your spine move. You might get a little twist through your hips. So just slow, 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 taking one shoulder at a time. Trying to make the movement as big and as smooth as feels comfortable for you. All right, now let's do both shoulders at the same time. So we'll bring both shoulders forward. Then we take both shoulders and squeeze them back, lift them up, bring them forward like, ooh, I'm cold, shrugging them in, and then down and back. And so now do this a little bit. This feels a little bit like I'm jumping rope. So I don't know if you jumped rope in elementary school, but like that. Your arms, your shoulders have to kind of pump forward. All right, and then come on back. Okay, let's try what we call cat-cow. So cat-cow is about taking little back bends and then little forward folds. Our spine can do a lot of different things, and we always want to make sure that we get everything in there. All right, so your hands are on your lap. On an inhale, push down to get tall, and then exhale and lean forward. I'm going to take this in 4 parts. Now your elbows are bent, so draw your elbows back and your shoulders back away from your ears. And on an inhale, lift your heart and take your chin towards the ceiling. And you should feel a little back bend here. Draw your shoulders away from your ears, firm your belly, and if you had a tail, you'd be sticking your tail out the back, your tail feathers. Now when you exhale, make your spine long, take the curve out of it, and then push your knees away and round your back. Drop your chin to your collarbone, hollow your belly out, and round your upper back, like you're pushing your knees away. Okay? I'll go sideways for the next one so you can see how that works. So on an inhale, get tall and come forward. Then draw the shoulders and the elbows back and look up. Find your back bend. And then exhale into a flat back and then continue. Push the knees away and round yourself like a shrimp as much as you can. Tucking the belly in, dropping the chin, rounding the upper back and pushing the knees away. And then on the inhale, you pull yourself towards your knees, get tall, and then right away just flow into your back. Use your exhale to flow into your rounded back. And try that just a few times. See if you can have a smooth, continuous motion. Starting to feel every part of your spine. So arching on an inhale and rounding on an exhale. Let's do one more like that. Inhale and up. And exhale and back. All right, so cat-cow is the basis of a lot of chair yoga. Now we're going to do, there's always lots of variations, so let's try one. So now, instead of coming forward, we're going to go diagonal back and forth, so we get a little bit more of a twist involved. All right, so hands are on your thighs. Push down to get tall. Keep your spine long, but this time when you exhale, come over your right knee. And then use your inhale to look up, but you're leaning to the right, so you can press a little bit more on the left thigh. When you exhale, find that long spine, and then push yourself back to the left. And then inhale, come to the center, and get tall. And then the next inhale, we're going to lean to the left. And then scoop out the back, lift the heart and the chin to the upper left, And then we'll exhale and push back to the right. And then swing it around and see if you can find the smooth motion here. Inhaling up and to the right and exhaling back and to the left. And then just swivel and come right over your left knee and up. And exhale over the right hip. And then swivel back to center. All right. So that was kind of like a little figure 8 that we were doing with the spine. So you can play with that in your own time and see if that works nicely for you. All right. Your hands are on your thighs. Let's do a little twisting. That's one of the first things that your spine loses as we age, is that ability to twist. So we always want to make sure that we do back bends and twists because our spine really needs them. Because we're always forward folding, so we want to do the opposite and twist. So your hands are on your thighs. Take an inhale and press down, get tall. As you exhale, let your left hand slide to your knee and draw your right hand back to your hips as you turn and look over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center and slide your hands in the opposite way. So right hand to right knee, left hand to left hip, and turn and look over your left shoulder. Now, like everything else, once you find that motion, find the smooth, continuous motion. Connect it with your breath, inhaling to center and exhaling to the side. And each time, just see what feels right for your body today in terms of how far you twist. And let's do one more time on each side. So just allowing your heart and your rib cage to take that turn. And then come back to center. All right, let's do just a little bit with our arms and then we'll try the strap at the end. All right, bring your arms by your sides and imagine that there's a hot air balloon right inside your chest. Did this last week as well. So imagine as you inhale, your ribs are going to flare out to the sides and your arms are weightless. So we'll take this a little at a time. So your feet are flat on the floor, your seat is comfortably on the chair, your shoulders are relaxed, and your arms are by your side. On an inhale, just float your hands up just a little bit. Let your elbows be soft and breathe. And then turn your palms down and push the air down again very gently and exhale down. Maybe even feel like you're underwater. There's no gravity. Inhale the arms up just a little bit and turn them around and exhale them down. So the operative word here is ease. Oh, my little kitty cat wants to join us. So now we're going to take our arms up maybe a little bit just below shoulder height. Is that okay with you, kiddo? All right. So inhaling, let your elbows be softer. Bring your hands up a little bit more and really broaden your rib cage. Turn the palms down and just let them float like they're weightless. And my cat likes this. And inhale a second time. Long spine, hands up just a little bit, and then floating down. Now, if you'd like to come up on your toes while we do this with our hands, feel free. You might be able to see me do this. We'll take our arms up a little higher now. So inhale, and if it's available to you, pick your heels up and bring your hands up over your shoulders and look up. And then as you exhale, feel as though you're deflating the balloon and floating down. Land your heels in your hands. And one more time like this. Inhale, lift up through the spine. Reach up, look up, eyes lift and spirits lift. And then exhale, push the air away and down. We'll do this one more time. And I'll encourage you to cultivate such a sense of peacefulness, of calm, of spaciousness. There's nothing else that matters in the world right now except this inhale and now this exhale, just floating your arms down. Now, let your right hand come to the side of your chair. Or you know what's better? Let's put our hands on our shoulders. I think that would be a little nicer. So both hands on your shoulders, let your elbows feel heavy, and that'll help draw your shoulders away from your ears too. When you inhale, let's first take that left arm straight up and get a little longer on the left side body. And then when you exhale, just gently take it over to the right to any degree. Your elbow can be bent if that's more comfortable, or even your hand can be here if it doesn't feel good to lift your arm. Or if it feels okay to lift your arm, then reach with that arm. And then exhale to center and bring both hands to your shoulders. When you're ready, take an inhale, lean to the left, and options to take the elbow up, or elbow up like this, or arms straight and lifted. So finding what feels good for you, keeping the right hip anchored on the chair. Now let's take this another time. So in slow motion, when you're ready, inhale and take the left arm to the right. Let the head and neck relax completely and lengthen along the left side of your body. Inhale back to center and exhale. And next inhale takes the right arm to the left. Inhale back to center. All right, now we're going to use a little twist. So when you exhale this time, take your left arm and reach for the right. So you're twisting and reaching. You want to touch that wall. And then inhale back to center. And exhale, take the right arm to the left. And inhale back to center. Let's do that one more time, but let's reach a little higher. So reach high and up to the right. Exhale back to center. And high and up to the left. And exhale and back to center. All right. Now, do you all have something that you can use like a strap? We'll try just a little bit with this today. And maybe we'll do a little bit more work with it next week or next time. But I just thought we'd try it this time, since Brooke was kind enough to encourage you to all get that. So you're holding your strap, and it's wider than your trunk. So we'll do this progressively so you can adjust the length that you need. So on an inhale, just bring it up about as high as your forehead. And pull on the strap if you can, just to make sure your arms are active. And then exhale, use your exhale to draw it back down to your lap. Now inhale and bring it up over your head this time. So beginning to take a little bit more of a shoulder expansion. And if you can keep your arms straight, all the better. And then exhale and take it down. Now make the strap quite long this time, just the first time. And what we're about to do is called shoulder flossing. We're going to take our shoulders in a full circle. It's not for everybody. I couldn't do this in the beginning either, but see what works for you. So we'll inhale the strap up. And now the exhale, take the strap back and down. And you may not be able to get it down the whole way, or you may be able to. You can make the strap longer if that's not possible. And then the hardest part is coming back up and then exhaling down. So I'm going to go sideways this time just so you can see what's going on. All right. So we inhale up. And if this is just as far as it goes, that's cool. Just stay here. You'll still get that lengthening that you need at the place that your shoulders are. Or maybe you go a little further, or maybe you go the whole way down. And as I said, the first time I did this, I was like, what? And then the way back up was really hard. But I'm living proof that by doing it, you actually begin to regain some shoulder mobility. So let's try that one more time. So inhale it up. Take it wherever you can go. Pull on the strap if you can to keep the arms strong, and take it back as far as it goes. This is one of those things you can just get curious about and see what can happen. And then inhale and bring it back up. And take it back down. And maybe you can see why this is called shoulder flossing. If you think of dental flossing, it's like really getting into those joints. And a beautiful definition of yoga that one of my teachers shared is that yoga is about dental flossing the body, but also dental flossing the mind. We dental floss the spine and we dental floss the mind. So we just dental floss our shoulders as well, just trying to get the gunk out, stagnant energy, and restore as much movement as is possible. All right. So now maybe if the shoulders are a little bit more open, let's do what's called snow angel. All right. So again, you're sitting tall, your feet are planted, or your hips on the chair. And on an inhale, just bring your hands and just touch the back of your head. They're not interlaced. Just touch them back here. Take the elbows back a little bit. Just feel that openness across the chest. This is where you might feel it. Now, if your lowest ribs are sticking way out, tuck them back in like they're a girdle or a corset. Draw them in so your core is strong. Now exhale and bring your hands down to your low back with your palms turned out. So hands at the low back, palms turned out, okay? And now we're gonna go back and forth. So inhale the arms wide, palms are turned forward, touch the back of the head. And then take a breath, take the arms wide, turn the hands, palms out to the low back. You can really see how this gets into your shoulders. Let's try it a few times. Inhale and bring the hands to the back of the head, elbows wide. You can even squeeze the shoulder blades together a little. And then exhale, push the air away, hands to the low back. And take the elbows back a little bit. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up, reach up, and then out, open up the chest. And then exhale, take the arms down, firm the belly, and hands at the small of the back. Shrug your shoulders back, take your elbows back, and then release. All right, so the last thing we'll do to finish off is sort of the other core of chair yoga besides the cat-cow of moving our spine is what's called sun salutations. So sun salutations in traditional yoga, you do it at sunrise and you face the sun and you're opening up all the big joints of your body and you're beginning to deepen and slow down your breath. So let's try a variation of a chair yoga sun salutation. So take your feet a little wider than hip distance. And typically you might repeat this 5 or 6 times. You just get used to the rhythm and it's very meditative. You just listen to your breath and you just keep moving. So we'll do this together. So your arms are by your sides. On an inhale, raise your arms wide enough and look up. If it's comfortable, you can let your fingertips lightly touch and get a little taller here. Breathe as you need to, because sometimes the instructions take more than one breath. The next time you exhale, take your elbows wide. We call this cactus arms. Drawing your elbows back and your hands back. Now the next one is easy. On an inhale, just bring your hands to your thighs. And then on an exhale, come about halfway forward, like your spine's at a 45-degree angle. Inhale and push yourself up tall for just a moment. Really get that length. And now your legs are wide. So exhale and roll yourself the whole way down. Let your head and neck relax. And now push on your thighs, roll your spine up like we did in the very beginning on an inhale. And then use your exhale to roll your shoulders back and down. All right, so we're resetting the shoulders, the hips, and the spine. Now we'll add on to that. All right, so inhale, widen up. And then exhale into your cactus arms. Inhale, hands on the thighs and push up long. And exhale halfway. We do this so that you can really lift up out of the low back and get that long spine. So once we have that long spine, push it up and you're a little taller now. And then exhale and hinge at your hips and come as far down as is comfortable for you. Now if your hands can slide down past your knees or touch the floor, depending upon what you're sitting, that's great. If not, your elbows can stay on your thighs. So I'm going to demo it with the elbows on the thighs this first time. So your left elbow is going to stay down. Take your right elbow up like we did before, but turn and look to the right. And then if it feels okay, take your right arm the whole way up. Really push down with that left elbow and reach with the right hand. Take a big inhale here and take your right armpit up to the ceiling if you can. And then exhale, bend that right arm and bring it down to the right thigh. Or, of course, if you're comfortable, you can go further. Now inhale and take that left elbow like you're jabbing the ceiling. But also now turn and look to the left. So we're twisting the torso. And then on an inhale, reach for the ceiling. Get taller. Lift that left shoulder up. Maybe even lean back a little and look up at the ceiling and open that left arm. And then exhale, bring that left elbow down. Relax the head over. And then inhale, roll yourself up. And exhale, do a last little roll with the shoulders. All right, it's our time. So bring your hands in front of your heart. There's always a little closing to our chair yoga. So the traditional closing is the term namaste, which means the light within me sees and honors the light within each of you. So when you are in your light and I am in my light, together we are one and we can bring about peace and joy. So from me to you, I am honored for you to share this practice with me. And I say namaste. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. If any of you have questions or comments or recommendations or things you'd like to do, always just feel free to unmute yourself and let me know.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Absolutely awesome. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Amy.
You were, you know what? It was perfect. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I really enjoyed it. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you, Helena. Is it Helena? Am I saying that right?
Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
Yeah, great job, guys. Sorry, my mouse for some reason is not working, and so I can't get my camera to turn back on, but I am here.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was, with my aging body, that's just a perfect workout for me. And it really helped with my shoulders, especially.
Yeah, you know, our shoulders, they say that the day that we can't lift our arms up over our head is the day that old age begins. So whether you're 27 and you fell off your bike or down the stairs or you have arthritis, I know I couldn't, you know, I'm 65 and I could not move my shoulder the whole way a couple of years ago. And I just very slowly, gently, because I used to do really active yoga, and then I started to do a little bit kinder, gentler yoga, and my shoulder.
Right.
So yeah.
That was my problem. I'm 63, right? And maybe 4 years ago, I just realized that I was trying to exercise too hard and I kept hurting myself and ending up in physical therapy. So
I've been
I started the yoga
too, but one of the main treats of yoga is it's called yama and niyama, and it's about doing no harm to yourself and others. And so conducting ourselves in a way that we make it better than we found it for ourselves and for others. So yeah, just taking it one step at a time, because you can't skip. Like you can't say, I want to do a handstand. It's like you have to learn every single little step along the way. That's the only way your body will learn how to do something. So it has taught me great humbleness and patience. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys did great and looked refreshed. I'm sorry that I can't get my camera back on. I also can't end this meeting either because I have no way to click end. So you guys will have to end it yourselves. I'll just hang out until everybody's gone.
Sorry about the technical problems there, Brooke, but I can.
Yeah, I'm not sure. For some reason, my mouse is just saying no to me right now. So sorry, guys, but you guys have a great evening and afternoon.
You too.
Thank you, Brooke.
Yep, good night.
Good night, everybody. Have a good evening. And Herb, I hope that felt okay on your body. Did it feel okay? Give me a thumbs up if it did. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
No, thanks a lot.
Oh, you're welcome, Carol. All righty. Okay, I guess that's all of us. So Brooke, I'm gonna hit leave and that'll end this then, okay? And thanks for your support today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you later.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.